You mentioned fiber as something that is really important for happy bacteria. Could you just give us a shorthand list?
Yeah.
Because I'm sort of this is not my area of expertise. So you say fiber, you know what I hear? I literally think about um, the Mucinex crap that you
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
stir into a drink. But what do you mean when you say fiber and that we need more fiber in our diet?
Whenever I say fibers, everyone's always like, oh, like what brand of fiber? And I'm like, no, I'm not talking about a brand. I'm saying fiber. So, but it is hard to conceptualize. So the best sources of, say, let's talk about non-bloating fiber. Okay. Fiber that you would eat when you're trying to get over, say, a week-long binge or vacation or whatever it is.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
spinach, leafy greens,
Okay.
are a great source of fiber. Berries are a great source of fiber. Asparagus is a great source of fiber. Um, Spices, they work like prebiotic fiber. So these are amazing things like turmeric and ginger and all of these foods. So also fruits and vegetables. So the best fruits to have when you are bloated is bananas,
Really?
is avocados, is a, pineapple, papaya. So pineapple and papaya have natural digestive enzymes in them. So while they're going through our system, they have natural like ways to break themselves down. So it's really gentle on our gut. Bananas are the same way. They've been shown to actually help with bloating. So and they all have fiber. So they're like helping you in the short term with the deep bloat, and then in the long term. Oh, asparagus, cucumbers, uh, celery. Those are all amazing things. Parsley, cilantro, like the herbs, fiber and debloating all at the same time. These are like the things you want to have when you're like, okay, I want to have more fiber, but I want it to be gentle on my stomach and help me digest. Have a big bowl of papaya, pineapple, bananas, and then have maybe some avocado. You could have like, if you're not sensitive to bread, you could have a sourdough with avocado on it, because sourdough doesn't have as many of the fructans, which are these basically gas causing sugars that your gut can't digest as well in some people. So having an avocado sourdough toast with some fruit on the side would be a great breakfast to have. Some asparagus would be amazing to have. These are really, really, also yogurt. If you're not lactose intolerant, like you said, you love that yogurt. I love probiotic yogurt and cottage cheese in the morning. And even though I can't tolerate a lot of dairy, that yogurt, it's just, my body loves that stuff. So that's a great thing to have when you're trying to debloat, because yogurt, as you know, has some bacteria in it. It's a probiotic food, and it's going to be it's going to help you in this setting.
Do you recommend that people take probiotics? Like, and I realize that not all probiotics are created equally, but does taking a
Mhm.
probiotic help if you're bloated?
Yeah. I mean, okay, this is how I would think of it. In our species in our gut is like the Amazon jungle. There's like thousands of different, hundreds, if not thousands of different species in there. And
Of
when you get
probiotics?
of bacteria, yeah. So a
Is
probiotic,
probiotic the same thing as a bacteria?
yeah. So it's a
Okay.
probiotic is bacteria that you take by mouth, right? So
Okay.
a probiotic might have say hundreds of strains, right? But that's not even close to how many different types of bacteria are in your gut. So what the problem with probiotics today is that if you threw seeds from a plane into a barren land, right? You just threw them, not knowing what climate you were in, not knowing what the local kind of weather, soil was like. Some seedlings may come out of it, if you
Yeah.
got lucky, but you
Yep.
don't know what you're doing. You're just throwing things at the wall and hoping something sticks, right? So the difference is when you eat probiotic foods like yogurt, like cottage cheese, like kimchi and sauerkraut, the bacteria come in a food matrix, and they're delivered to your bacteria that already live there. Like, hey, look, I brought you some friends. And then for some reason, our body is just more likely to incorporate those guys into our existing ecosystem than they are when you throw a whole bunch of pills into your body.
That makes a lot of sense. And so I just want to make sure that you listening are tracking with me and Dr. Shaw. So I want to ask a couple questions.
Yeah.
So are you saying that probiotic food based on the research is a more effective way
Yes.
to put healthy bacteria and to get your gut health in order, more healthy and effective than taking an oral probiotic?
Absolutely. When we get to the place where I can say, Mel, let me see the organisms that are in your gut right now, and let me produce a cocktail that's going to be complementary to them. And then you're going to be like, oh yeah, this definitely works. And that's why fecal transplants work so well.
Fecal transplant? What the hell is that?
So the
Fecal
best way
transplants?
So the best way
I'm
to
just
deliver,
trying to get rid of the food baby I have from Thanksgiving. I don't know if I need a fecal transplant.
So, we're talking about delivery of bacteria, right? So you can deliver them through a probiotic.
Yep.
You can deliver it in a food matrix, like, here, serve it on a platter through a food matrix. So you're eating sauerkraut and the bacteria are kind of in that matrix of the food.
Makes sense.
Or you deliver it like straight up poop from someone else that already has that. It's like
from somebody else?
Yeah, it's called a fecal transplant.
Ew, do you have to eat the poop? Like,
no,
how do you
just
do it?
placed there through colonoscopy. It is curative for so many diseases.
Really?
Because it's the best way.
You should see everybody's facial expressions.
But no, think about it. I mean, I know it sounds gross, but you don't have to eat it. You can have it. Say it's your husband. Here, I know your husband, okay?
Well,
I know
he's
a super healthy guy.
Yes, he's a very super healthy guy.
And you're like, you know what? I am so sick and tired. Like, say you want his motivation. Like, it's crazy, but it also athletic performance, mood, all of this stuff can be transplanted through the gut. So there is a theory, and it's already been seen in some diseases, that you take a family member's or someone that's really healthy, doesn't have diseases, and you take their feces, their poop, you get it transplanted and placed into your colon through a colonoscopy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you let it sit there. So it can kind of like, it's like adding soil,
right. Yep.
You let it kind of sit there, let it get incorporated. It can cure diseases. Like, we already know we think it may be able to cure depression. It may be able to heal ADHD. It may be able to stop cancer. I mean, there's like the potential for the fecal transplant is insane.
I'll give you that. I will give you that. I can wrap my brain around that. And I remember it may be something that you shared on one of the other episodes that you were on, that there was a study done, I think, on rats.
Yeah. What they did is they took the patients who had schizophrenia and they took their gut bacteria and they put it into mice that didn't have their own gut bacteria so that they could see what happens when we don't change anything in the animal's brain. We just give them the gut bacteria, and they exhibited the change in mental health. So yeah, you understand that potential is there. So when you ask me what's the best way to get bacteria into your gut, and I'm like, okay, probiotics
actually
is a C. Food-based probiotic foods is a B, and the A is actually getting bacteria from another human.
What you're basically saying is that the healthiest way to get a sample of live, healthy gut bacteria is when that live, healthy gut bacteria moves from the stomach, down the intestines, and out somebody through the colon. And so we obviously know that's fecal matter, but inside that is live, healthy bacteria in a healthy person. And what you're saying in terms of the emerging science is that source of live, healthy bacteria, even if it's encased in something we all think is disgusting, that is actually the most effective way to help somebody else grow. And I would imagine as the technology emerges especially with all this research that's showing over and over and over again how effective it can be in the positive or the negative to transfer healthy gut bacteria from one person or species to another, that they will figure out a delivery mechanism for that. That doesn't sound disgusting, but that I hear you in that it is wildly effective.
And to add on that, one of the other ways to get healthy bacteria from other humans, you broke it down so nicely, because the best way to get healthy, good gut bacteria is from other humans. It's just by spending time with other humans that you want to be like.
Wait a minute. So am I catching Chris's bacteria?
You're catching
like if I
his
kiss
bacteria.
him, am I going to catch his bacteria?
You share food with him. You hug him, kiss him. You are basically more like Chris' gut microbiome than your identical twin sister, if you ever had one.
Really?
Yeah.
For
identical
real?
twins that are separated at birth, their microbiomes look closer to the people that they live with or their significant others than each other. And when you want to be more like someone, you want the athletic prowess, you want to be as happy, you want to be as successful, as they say, the people you spend your time with, you become. Like, when you look at it through this gut bacteria lens, that actually is happening.
You and I are picking up where we left off in our last podcast episode. This is part 2 of that conversation. I just love Dr. Shaw. She's here because she's breaking down the topic of gut health for you and me.